Okay, yeah, good question. Will regulation end Uniswap indexes? I mean, at the moment, that's a possibility, right? But kind of as mentioned earlier, November, I would say from Q4 to Q1 will be very, very big for crypto because there will be lots of change regardless of what happens, right? Regardless of who wins the American election. And the reason why I focus so much on the American election is because it's kind of like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the reserve currency in crypto, right? It's, you have like Bitcoin dominance, and America is the largest economy, and pretty much what like America does, what the SEC does, other jurisdictions tend to follow, right? Because typically it's had a very strict bar, right? So and lots of the world's economy and money is here. Now, going back to the SEC is going to have lots of changes after the election, after November, right? And typically, so what happens is a president, Trump or Biden, will win in November. Then there'll be a transition period. So they'll be sworn in January. Then they'll appoint their new staff, their new cabinets for each department, right? So they'll be appointing new people for the SEC. And Hester Pierce is already there, so she's not going anywhere. So that's what they have 5 people in the SEC, 5 main people, 5 chairmen, and 1 is pro crypto. We need just 3 to be pro crypto, right? So if Trump wins and he ends up putting in new people, right? Maybe he could add more people who are pro crypto because Jay Clayton is likely gone. He's basically gone, and he was anti crypto. He was like the Antichrist for crypto. I mean, he was literally the Antichrist, right? So basically, the Antichrist for crypto is leaving. So now it would be likely that hopefully somebody who's pro crypto would join, and hopefully we get 3 people who are pro crypto, right? And if Democrats come in power, then pretty much hopefully a lot of the people will be pro crypto, right? So either way, there will be lots of change coming up, and I think because Hester Pierce has put out her safe harbor proposal, basically giving entrepreneurs and companies a grace period to become fully decentralized, basically giving them about 3 years or so to kind of experiment, right? If that happens, then I think Uniswap will be good. But I mean, from a legal standpoint, obviously I'm no attorney, but Uniswap. So going, because the question is, are they a security, right? The network was launched before they issued their token. Their token is used in their network and protocol, right? Pretty much people have to perform an action. They have to stake and use the network to get the token. Yeah, so I mean, I guess the question is Uniswap decentralized? At the moment, I don't think they're fully decentralized, but they are launching governance, and I think they're working towards becoming decentralized. So right, because they are a central entity. Their code is open source. Anybody can fork and launch it. But other than that, it's tough. I mean, because then you have other jurisdictions, other agencies like the CFTC, the Commodities and Futures Trade Commission, and all that. But anyway, kind of coming back up to breathe for water. At a high level, it's tough to tell, right? Right now, we're venturing into unknown territory. I think it's kind of really a time where you just execute and you ask for forgiveness later. Okay, and I think they're well capitalized, having VCs backing them, and then they also, I think they have a good legal team around them, and I think they've kind of followed a playbook. And I think the fact that Coinbase, and which has a pretty good compliance team, jokes aside of them adding them basically less than 1 day after launching, but jokes aside, Coinbase has been pretty strict to add tokens, and I think if their compliance team thinks they're not a security, it's probably a pretty safe bet. But obviously, nothing is guaranteed. Anything could happen. I think we might down the road see judgment from the SEC. Typically, they like to enforce through judgment, right? They don't like to tell you what their rules are. They like to just kind of issue judgments and have you decipher what the rules are based on what they've penalized, right? But it's tough to tell, right? So sorry to kind of hedge, but yeah, I mean, it's the law, right? It's definitely unventured territory, and anything is possible. But I think long term, I would still be bullish on them, right, as a DEX. But I think we'll have hopefully better clarity in terms of how that could be regulated.